Radio host Erica Bain and her fiancé, Dr. David Kermani, were walking their dog through the park. Along the way, they played fetch. The ball rolled into a tunnel, and while they were engrossed in conversation, they didn't notice the dog had disappeared. When they realized, they began searching, calling out, and heard barking in the distance. They spotted the dog. But at that moment a man emerged from the shadows with two others, one of whom was filming. David demanded the men return the dog, but one of them mocked him and assaulted Erica. When David tried to protect her, they attempted to rob him and brutally beat him while throwing Erica against a concrete wall, leaving her severely injured. She was rushed to the hospital in critical condition and fell into a coma. Meanwhile, detectives Mercer and Vitalo arrived at the hospital morgue to investigate what was believed to be a suicide. They went upstairs to speak with the victim's injured child. Mercer led the girl into an office when her stepfather, Mr. Maro, suddenly burst in, demanding to take her home. Mercer refused the request and advised Mr. Maro to hire a lawyer, suspecting him of involvement in his wife's death and viewing his stepdaughter as a witness. Weeks later, Erica awoke from her coma and slowly began to recover. David's mother visited her, revealing that his funeral had taken place weeks earlier, and Erica broke down, longing to see him again. Later, the police came to question her, but the memories of the attack were so painful that she could offer little information. Erica was eventually discharged from the hospital and returned to her apartment, keeping the door locked at all times. She isolated herself for days, too afraid to go outside. Summoning her courage, she finally went downstairs, stepped out the door, and headed to the police station for information about her case. An officer told her it might be difficult and asked her to wait for someone to assist her. Minutes passed, and she realized he was repeating the same line to everyone who arrived. Frustrated and determined to protect herself, she left and went to a local gun shop, intent on buying a gun immediately. However, Erica had no permit and knew she would have to wait 30 days to legally buy a gun. Hearing her desperation, a man in the store offered to sell her one for $1,000. He led her through a market into a back alley, handed her a K9 pistol, gave her basic instructions, tossed in some bullets, and she took it. That night, Erica stopped by a corner store for snacks. Suddenly, a man burst in, cursing at the clerk for not watching this child, then shot her dead. Erica tried to hide in the aisle, but her phone suddenly rang, alerting the gunman to her presence. As he searched for witnesses and passed by her, she drew her gun and fired 3 shots, one striking him in the neck and causing heavy bleeding. She hurried to the counter, grabbed the security tape and rushed home, heading straight to the bathroom. Moments later, detectives Mercer and Vitali arrived at the scene to investigate. They discovered the tape was missing. No money had been taken, and only one of the 3 shots had hit the target, leading them to believe the shooter was an inexperienced male. That night, Erica rehearsed her lines for the radio show, but her words no longer matched how she felt about New York after the attack. The next day, she returned to work, though her boss thought it might be too soon. For Erica, it was the only way to give her life meaning again, so he relented and put her back on the air. As she began to speak, she suddenly froze, trapped in her dark memories. Erica chose to speak straight from the heart. Admitting that New York had become a place she feared, a feeling she had never known before, her words caught the attention of Mercer, who was driving at the time, and everyone in the studio. That evening, she visited David's grave, staying until nightfall. On her train ride home to record, she saw 2 thugs harass a man listening to music and steal his iPod. An elderly man tried to intervene, but was also attacked, and both men were forced off the train. Realizing Erica was still seated, the thugs approached and mocked her. One pulled a knife, but she calmly drew her gun and shot them both. Both men were dead, and all 4 of Erica's shots had hit their mark. She calmly stepped off the train, realizing she hadn't needed to kill them, and was surprised at how composed she felt as police passed her on the street. She quickly slipped into a bar's restroom, removed her hoodie, and vomited. Meanwhile, Mercer and Vitali arrived at the scene, finding an iPod suspected to be stolen and no missing cash. Erica freshened up and walked back outside, but felt compelled to return to the scene. At the same time, Mercer noted similarities between the 2 attacks and believed the assailant was growing bolder. He headed to the street where reporters had gathered, spotted Erica leaving, followed her and told her he knew where he had seen her before. Erica told Mercer her name and her job at the radio station, adding that she wanted to interview him, prompting him to leave. Soon after, news broke about a self-appointed cop roaming the streets. Mercer handed the iPod to Vitala for testing, hoping to identify its owner and track down the vigilante. Back at work, Erica's boss told her that her recent broadcast had drawn a large audience and encouraged her to keep it up. Erica walked down the stairs to find Detective Mercer waiting outside. She started to turn away, but he stepped forward and called her back. Mercer told her he had seen her at the hospital the day after the attack and that both he and his ex-wife were big fans of her show. Glad to have her back. He explained that he had reviewed her case and promised to find the culprit, agreeing to her earlier interview request. They sat and talked, with Erica asking what he looked for at crime scenes and his thoughts on the subway case in the news. When Mercer spotted Mr. Maro, Erica confided off the record that he was a corrupt businessman and gangster suspected of killing his wife to win custody of his stepdaughter, the sole witness. Mercer said there was nothing legal he could do, but off the record, he admitted that what was done was done. Their conversation ended with Erica asking how he had felt the first time he shot someone. Mercer handed her his business card, telling her to call anytime after hours. One night on her way home, Erica was called over by a man in a parked car. As she approached, she saw an unconscious girl in the back seat. Stepping closer, she learned the girl's name was Chloe. The man intended to take advantage of the situation. But Erica drew her gun, forcing him to hand all his cash to Chloe before the 2 of them left the car. He tried to run them down, but Erica shot him, causing the vehicle to swerve. In the chaos, the car struck and ran over Chloe. Erica called the police and kept her distance, watching as they took Chloe away. She then returned home where her neighbor was present. Her neighbor, sitting outside, noticed the blood on Erica's cheek, but simply reminded her to know right from wrong. Mercer held a press conference attended by Erica, announcing that the witness had regained consciousness and would soon be questioned. The next morning, Erica went to work, where her boss revealed they would open the phone lines for call-ins to call in. Although Erica felt her show wasn't suited for call-ins, her boss insisted. Throughout the broadcast, she began taking calls. With most listeners expressing support for the vigilante and some even pretending to be the vigilante, Erica left for the police station, burdened with guilt, intending to turn herself in but ultimately changing her mind. She called Mercer to talk, only to realize she had been lured to Mr. After telling Mercer that Maro had once been kind to her, she entered the elevator with Maro, who didn't notice her when he exited and headed for his car. Erica followed and confronted him, asking if he ever thought about the wife he had killed. Maro attacked her with a crowbar, injuring her, but she fought back and threw him off the rooftop. Erica returned home, where her neighbor found her bleeding and helped her into the apartment. As Mercer investigated the case, recalling the sound of an elevator he had heard, Erica received care from her neighbor and admitted she had killed someone. The neighbor assumed it must have been necessary, asked no further questions and helped clean her blood. Suspecting Erica, Detective Mercer invited her to the hospital where he was about to speak with Chloe. Erica entered the room nervously, and Chloe immediately recognized her. When Mercer asked about the night of the incident, Chloe insisted she hadn't seen anyone. After leaving, Mercer wondered why Erica had called him the previous night and asked where she had been, but she simply said she had gone to bed. The detectives located the owner of the iPod, but the boy reported seeing nothing suspicious, only an old man and a woman on the train. When they tried to create a suspect sketch, it ended up resembling a celebrity, which Mercer noted was a common occurrence. While Erica was at home, Mercer arrived and showed her a ring, explaining that they had caught a suspect's girlfriend trying to pawn it. He asked her to identify the suspect in a lineup. She initially refused, but eventually agreed. At the station, Erica spotted the man who had attacked her but denied knowing him and left. Mercer caught up with her at the elevator, and the two went out to eat, where he told her about Maro, the attack on him, and their new suspect, a woman. Mercer hinted that Erica was now a suspect and warned that if necessary, he would take her down regardless of their closeness. After a brief, tense moment, Erica left, driven by a desire for revenge. She began asking around at local pawn shops in search of the woman who had tried to pawn her ring. Meanwhile, Mercer called a friend to run a trace on Erica's phone from the night Maro died and discovered that she had been at Maro's building. Erica located the pawn shop and bribed the owner to reveal the woman's whereabouts. She tracked her down, called her cell phone to confirm her identity and followed her to her apartment to confront her about the ring. When Erica demanded to know where the woman's boyfriend was, the woman refused to answer, explaining that she had witnessed what happened to Erica and did not want the same fate for herself. Disappointed, Erica left only to later receive a message from the woman apologizing, giving her the address and sending a video of the attack, which left Erica devastated. Erica broke down in tears and sent Mercer a farewell message along with the video. Upon receiving it, Mercer rushed out to stop her from carrying out the attack. Erica arrived at the building, slipped inside, and spotted several men in an alley with her dog. Arming herself, she approached the gate where one man was holding the dog. When he noticed her, Erica shot him dead, sending the others fleeing in panic. Erica hid, waiting for the criminal to run past, then shot him in the back, killing him instantly. She moved on to track down the last suspect, but was ambushed by the man who had killed David. He began choking her, but Mercer rushed in and intervened. Erica grabbed a gun, intent on killing him, yet Mercer tried to calm her and took the weapon away. Unexpectedly, Mercer handed her his own gun, telling her to stop, but she pulled the trigger anyway, killing the man. Erica surrendered, but Mercer refused to arrest her, instead telling her to shoot him in the arm to cover for her. She complied, and after exchanging farewells, she fled. Mercer gave the gun back to her, released her dog, called for backup, and was taken away in an ambulance.